Hey students and teachers, welcome to the first edition Fire Prevention COVID edition. I'm Jordan Forges, this is Jonathan Moore.
We know everything's very strange, homeschooling, Zoom meetings and things like that, but we still find it very important that we reach every student to discuss fire prevention and other safety tips throughout the year.
This month's topics we're going to discuss are Edith, exit drills in the home, getting out, staying out, and 911. Next time you see us, we'll be in the classroom going into further details on these different topics. Now we're going to go over this month's topics in detail. This month's topics include Edith, stay low and go, get out and stay out. So let's start with Edith. Edith stands for exit drills in the home. Exit drills in the home are kind of like what you go through at school. You always have fire drills. When the fire alarm at school goes off, you know you get in a single file line at the door. You walk in a single file line until you get outside to the meeting place, which has been designated by the school, and your teacher already knows that. Also, if you look by the door going into your classroom, you'll see a drawing which shows where the meeting place is outside and where you go in an event of a bad weather situation. So let's go over drawing out a exit drill at your home, because now that you're doing more school from home, this is important because you're at home more now. So if an emergency were to happen, you need to know what to do. So we're going to draw it out. We're going to always mark 2 ways out. We're going to crawl to the door. That door is hot. You don't want to go out of that door. There may be fire on the other side. So you want to go to a window. So that's your 2 ways out. Make sure your window's open freely. That means you can go to the window and you can open it by yourself without help. Because in an emergency situation, you're not going to have somebody in there with you to help you most of the time. So with those 2 being said, a lot of kids ask us, what if my room's on the 2nd floor and I can't get out safely? Great question. What we ask you to do is go to your window. Open your window, take a blanket or a sheet or something of that nature, and wave it out of your window like a flag. And if you don't have anything nearby that you can grab a stuffed animal, a toy, or something of that nature, because it's not normal to see toys flying out of a window of a house, so we're going to know something's not right in that room. So what we'll do is when we get there, we're going to walk around your house, and we're going to make sure there's nobody that needs rescuing and that everything's safe for the firefighters that are going in. So we'll see that blanket, we'll see those toys, we're going to get a ladder, we're going to come get you and get you out safely. If the house can be replaced, you can. So we've gone over 2 ways out, making sure your window opens freely. An emergency is not going to always happen when you're in your bedroom. You know what your bedroom looks like, you're in there a lot. So what you want to do is you want to go into every room when you're drawing this plan out and make sure that you know 2 ways out of every room in your house. That way if the emergency were to hit when you're in a different room, you know a safe way to get out. Next we're going to discuss is a meeting place. A meeting place can be a tree, a swing set, or something of that nature in your front yard. We don't want it to be near the road because you've called 911, there's an emergency situation going on, so you're going to have different types of emergency vehicles coming to your house. And we don't want you to get hit or hurt while we're trying to come and save or rescue someone from your house. Also, discuss it with your family, because all these different situations, everybody in your family needs to know, especially the meeting place. Everybody needs to know where that's at, because everybody needs to go to that designated area and know that's where it's at, because when we get there, we want to know that everybody's out safely and that there's nobody left in the house. So always discuss this plan with your family. And just like at school, you practice the fire drill, practice it at home. Make sure everybody's on the same page and everybody knows what to do in the event of an emergency. That way when the true emergency happens, we hope it doesn't, but if it does, you know what to do. So, what we're going to go to now is stay low and go. We've already drawn our plan, we know what to do. We're laying in our bed at night, the smoke detector goes off, we wake up, we see smoke all in our room. Do we jump up and run out of the door? No. What we're going to do, we're going to roll out of the bed. We're going to get down on our hands and knees and crawl like a baby does. We're going to crawl to your door in your bedroom. We're going to feel the door with the back of your hand. Everybody hold up the back of your hand. Okay, good job. We're going to feel that door with the back of your hand. If that door is cool, we're going to open it. So, we open the door. Now do we get up and run? I hope everybody in the classroom is saying no, because you're right. We're going to stay low. We're going to stay low and go. That's where this comes into play. Everybody say it together. Stay low and go. So we're going to open the door. We're going to stay crawling until we get outside, because that nasty smoke's up here, the clean air's down here. That's why we crawl. That's why we stay low. We stay low under that nasty smoke until we get outside. So we got outside and we're at our meeting place. Everybody's out safely. And you remember, man, my Xbox is in the house. Do we go back inside for the Xbox? I hope everybody in the classroom is saying no. Do we go in for our pet? I hope everybody's saying no as well. We never go back inside, because animals and toys can be replaced. I've never been to Walmart and seen an aisle where a parent can go buy a new kid. You're the most precious thing. Your Xbox and your animals can be replaced. You can't. So always remember, stay low and go, get out and stay out.
The next thing we're going to go over is 911. The use of 911, what they're going to ask you when you call, and the reasoning behind it. 911 is a universal number for any emergency. So the first thing they're going to ask, you're going to have an operator, and they're going to ask 911, what's your emergency? They need to know what the problem is, what's going on. Like I said, they cover all emergency services. So they need to know whether to send fire, police, or EMS. You don't want us showing up if somebody's trying to break in your house, and you don't want a cop showing up if your house is on fire. So the next thing they're going to ask is, what's the location, or what's your address? So show of hands, how many people know their address? Hopefully everybody. If not, I want you to definitely go home and make sure you learn that. If you say, I live next door to grandma's, there's a lot of grandmas out here. If you say, I live in the big 2-story white house, there's several white houses out here. We need to know exactly which house you're at. So make sure you know your address. The next thing they're going to ask is your name and your number. Just in case there's something going on, or we have a hard time locating the address to the emergency, we can call you back and get more information or more details on it. At any point, we don't use 911 in play. Prank calls, hang up, things like that. It's a serious offense. Cops will show up, firemen may show up. If we get a call and it hangs up, we're gonna come by just to make sure everything's okay and going fine. So we've got a few things over here. We're gonna do a little checklist. So the first one is if we have a problem with our homework. We know we have that dreaded math problem, especially with this Common Core stuff. So if we have a problem with homework, are we going to call 911? The answer is no. So we're going to put a big red X. And the next one, if we go in and can't wake up a parent, if we go in, mom and dad's laying in bed, we're shaking them, hollering them, things like that, and they still won't wake up, is that a reason to call 911? Yes. So we're going to put a big green check. It actually may be a medical emergency or something else going on while they're not waking up. So that's a good reason to call 911. All right? A cat stuck in a tree. No. Contrary to every children's story we've heard, firemen do not come and get cats out of trees. The next one, someone breaking into your house. Yes. We can definitely use 911 to get the police to respond to that. All right, the next one, you see smoke and detectors are going off in your house. Yes. So put another big green check. We want to call 911 and make sure that we let them know the address and stuff. We want to make sure we get out of the house before we call 911. Don't stay in the house if you see smoke, detectors going off, things like that. Do not stay in the house to call 911. Make sure you get out at your meeting place to make the call. All right, the next one, your Xbox shuts off. No. So put a big red X. Even though it's very devastating and things like that, that's no reason to call 911. We're not technicians, we can't fix your Xbox. The next, we're going to show you a clip of what's going to happen if you do misuse 911.
Is your refrigerator running? Better go catch it. Oh?
Yes, this is Rockingham County 911. We had someone call from this number.
Hello?
Hey, Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. What you at?
We got here because of a 911 call.
I was just having fun goofing around.
Goofing around? That's what friends are for. What else do you do with your friends?
Hang around, play games, I guess. Just stuff, you know?
Right. So the 911 is actually just for emergencies. Did you know that?
No, man.
And you guys aren't having an emergency, right? No, you were just calling for fun, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want a ticket?
No.
No. Do you want to go to jail?
No.
No. Well, that's what's going to happen if you keep using 911 and there's no real purpose. Do you want that?
No.
No. Right. So if you need us and there is a real emergency, then call 911. If you need us and there's not an emergency, call our non-emergency number. Do you know what that is?
No, man.
It's 336-634-3300, okay? Do you have any questions?
I don't know.
All right, man. Have fun. Be
Thank you
safe.
so much.
Yes, sir.
To recap everything we've gone over, what we want you to take away from this is to remember, Edith, exit drills in the home. Always remember to have 2 ways out. Always to have a meeting place. And when it comes to the time for if a true emergency does ever hit, remember, stay low and go, and get out and stay out.
Remember with 911, know your address, the location of the emergency, what the emergency is, and also your name and number.
And also with the 911, remember, it's not a toy. You don't play with it, only call in a true emergency. So this is all we have. We'd like to give a special thanks to the Reidsville Police Department for lending us some assistance in shooting this video. So that's it for the first edition of Fire Prevention COVID Edition. Stay safe.